My name's Glenn McDonald. I'm a lecturer and a researcher at the University of Adelaide at the Wade Institute. When plants are exposed to a low and freezing temperature, what happens is that the water can initially freeze on the outside of the plant, but then can move within the leaf through the pores in the leaf called the stomata, or even little cracks in the leaf surface. And what happens then is that the water inside the leaf starts to freeze. Now, initially the water around the cells freezes, but the cells themselves may not necessarily freeze. They can still be quite liquid. But as the water outside those cells freezes, it actually draws out the water from inside the cells and they can become dehydrated. That won't necessarily kill the cells as long as that dehydration doesn't go too far. And so when the plant thaws again, those cells can recover. So acclimation is also called hardening, and essentially it's where the plant becomes adapted to its environment. So in terms of frost, if you expose plants to low but not freezing temperatures, they will become better adapted to low temperatures. So when a frost event does occur, they're more likely to survive that frost event than plants which haven't been exposed to those low temperatures. And those low temperatures can be anywhere between 0 and 10 degrees Celsius. So the low temperatures you normally experience during winter can often be low enough to actually cause those plants to become frost hardened or to acclimate to frost. So the growing conditions leading up to the frost event can have just as big an effect on the effect of the frost as the frost event itself. So if the plant is growing under warm conditions and is growing rapidly and doesn't have the ability to acclimate or to harden, once that frost event occurs, the damage can be more severe. So this year, for example, in many parts of the cereal belt, we actually had quite a mild winter, and so many areas didn't receive those low temperatures during winter that they would normally experience. And what that would mean is that the plants would become more susceptible to a frost when that frost event occurred. The other thing is that we had quite a wet winter, and farmers also applied a fair amount of nitrogen, and so what that does is obviously promotes the growth. So rapidly growing plants again tend to be a bit more susceptible to that frost. They haven't acclimated as well, or haven't adapted as well to those low temperatures.